Alright, now this time you need to read the graph here, guys. If last time you identify the gradient, identify the line equations, the coordinates, now for number 2 here we are going to read the graph. Okay, number 2, the graph shows Andy's journey when he traveled on a train from town A. During the journey, the train stopped at a station for the commuter to alight for refreshment, after which the train continued to travel to its destinations, which is 500 kilometers from town A. Right, so basically this one is for the y-axis here is represent for the distance from town A, and then for the x-axis here is our time. A. How long was the refreshment break at the station? So from here, guys, at first this one is from town A, or we can see it as this one is O, A, B, and C. Town A here, leave the stations and then you will have refreshment here. So if you want to find the how long was the refreshment break at the station, it means you have to find the difference of this, right? A and B, you have to find this. Your A here is 11 o'clock, and then B here it's going to be 12:30. This one is really in the middle of 12 o'clock and 13 o'clock, yeah, 1 o'clock, yeah. So in the middle of 12 o'clock and 13 o'clock, it means you have 12:30 there. Okay, now if you want to find how long was the refreshment break, it means you need to minus this 12:30 by 11 o'clock. So you will have 1 hour and 30 minutes. Right, now look at this, guys. The question asks you to leave it in minutes. It means you will have 60 minutes plus 30 minutes. Now you will have 90 minutes for the refreshment break. Alright, now let's move on to 2B. Before that, I'm going to erase first so you can see it. Alright. Okay. This one is A, this one is O. How far, okay, B, how far was town A from the station where the commuter had their refreshment? Okay, the refreshment is here. Alright, it means you have to find the total distance. If you want to find the total distance, you have to take a look to your y-axis. It means you will have 300, yeah, from 0 you will have 0 to 300. It means the distance it's going to be 300 kilometer. Z. Now let's move on to number C. You need to find the gradient of each of the following line segment. Here we have OA. The OA here we have this to this, this to this. Now I need you to make a triangle. Don't forget, if you want to find the gradient of OA, you need vertical over horizontal, right? Rise over run. Alright, the vertical change here we have 0 to 300. It means the vertical change is going to be 300. And then the unit here, remember the unit is in hour, right? Even though you will have a 45 minutes or maybe you will have a 30 minutes, it means you have to convert it to hour. Now we have 9 to 11. 9 to 11, so you will have 2 hours on it, right? So 300 over 2, you will have 150, and the gradient is going to be positive because of your line is increasing. Your line is increasing, so the gradient is going to be in positive. Okay, now let's move on to AB. You need to find the gradient of AB here. Look at this, guys. We have A to B. Remember, if you have a constant or horizontal line like this, it means your gradient is going to be 0. It is because of when you have rise over run or vertical over horizontal, there is no rise because of its constant. Yeah, there is no rise, there is no vertical change. Over by, you run A until B here. The B here is going to be 12:30. You have 1 hour and a half, right? 11 o'clock until 12:30. It means 1 hour and a half. So 0 divided by anything, 0 divided by any number, you will have a 0. So your gradient here is going to be 0. The gradient here is going to be 0. So 0 km/h. Okay, now move on to BC. The B and C here, I will zoom in. You need to make a triangle on it. Vertical change, please. We have 500 here. It because of you have here, and then here is 300. Now the vertical change is going to be 200, right? Because of you will have 500 minus by 300, it is going to be 200 here. Now if we want to find the horizontal change, look at this, guys. We have 4 o'clock from 12:30 to 4 o'clock. Now if you want to find how many hours do you have there, you can just leave it like this: 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour and a half. So this one is going to be 3 hour and a half. So if you want to find the gradient of BC, you will have 200 over 3.5. Remember, avoid the decimal inside your fractions, yeah? So if you have a decimal on your fraction, it means you have to make it into whole number. You can just multiply it by 2 in both number, yeah? So you will have 400 over 7. Miss, can I leave it, can I use the 10 for the multiplication? Sure. So if you have a multiplication with 10, so you will have 2000 over 35. I will accept these two possible answer, yeah. Or if you want to make another one, or if you want to leave it in decimal, it's good enough for me, okay? So our answer for MBC, the gradient of BC, it's going to be 400 over 7. 400 over 7. This one is from 200 over 3.5. You cannot leave it in decimal for your fractions, yeah, guys. That's why I ask you to leave it in whole number. Okay, that's all for number 2. If you think you need more explanation, or if you think that you still don't understand with my explanation, don't forget to approach me.